The following video will assist Mesa & Fire Medical Department members when backing a vehicle and trailer. First, let's cover safety. All members involved in backing procedures should be wearing approved traffic vests. When assisting the vehicle driver, the following hand signals should be used. Straight back, hands overhead, upper arms parallel to the ground, full motion at the elbows. Be demonstrative. Communicate your intentions clearly with the driver. Stop. Hands crossed in an X over your head. Turn left or turn right. Upper arms parallel to the ground. Large movements with your arms. Look. First, bring the vehicle to a stop, then point at your eyes. The driver will then know that they are to look somewhere. Point to where they're looking. Hazards at ground level or up above, or to the secondary backer. When switching from primary backer to the secondary backer will start by pointing at their eyes and then begin the backing procedures. Look at a pivot point. When backing a vehicle, there will be a point where you may want them to turn. Bring the vehicle to a stop, point at your eyes, then point to that pivot point, communicating with the driver, this is where the vehicle will pivot. As the driver of the vehicle, you have a couple options for hand positions when backing. The bottom hand position on the steering wheel allows you to turn the steering wheel in the direction that you would like the trailer to go. Conversely, with the hand on the top of the steering wheel, the trailer will be going in the opposite direction of that steering wheel. An alternative to utilizing your mirrors to back the vehicle is the hook and look position. The left hand will be on the steering wheel and the right arm over and behind the front passenger seat. You will then look over your shoulder for your backer. Although this isn't ideal, it is an additional method that you could use, particularly in the rare instance that you do not have a backer and you want to see clearly behind the vehicle and/or the trailer. Additionally, anytime you lose sight of a backer, bring the vehicle to a complete stop until such time as you reestablish visual communication with that backer. Ideally, we want to position ourselves for success. In this case, with straight line backing, we want to straighten out the vehicle before we begin backing. Remember, as the backer for the vehicle, you should be exiting with traffic vests, which should be worn the entire time. Position yourself at least 10 feet behind the vehicle and off to the sides. You want to be able to see the driver in the mirror and then begin backing. The secondary backer's objective is to be sure that the primary backer is aware of any hazards that may interfere with their ability to back safely.
Greg, you have a cone behind you at about 5 feet.
Communicate those hazards and obstructions to the primary backer. Notice the hand position of the primary backer. Hands overhead, large hand movements. This makes it easy for the driver to understand what the primary backer wants. As we are moving closer to the end point of our backing,
Greg, you have about
the
10
secondary
more feet.
backer now has communicated with them so that they are aware that they're moving toward a hazard or obstruction. And then as we bring this vehicle to a stop, our hands will be wide, but they will also be moving together. This will indicate to our driver that he is closing in on his endpoint for stopping. Once the hands have crossed, we have now indicated to the driver that he should bring the vehicle to a stop. Our second event will include backing around a turn. Our primary backer will continue to back the vehicle until they get to the point that they are about to turn the vehicle around an inside corner. At that point, the primary backer will stop, point to their eyes, and then hand the primary backing responsibilities off to the secondary backer. The secondary backer immediately pointed to their eyes, and once they recognized that the driver was looking at them through the side view mirror, began backing the vehicle. As we're backing this vehicle, the primary backer now has identified a pivot point. That pivot point is pointed to after the vehicle is brought to a complete stop so that the driver realizes that they are to pivot that trailer wheel around that pivot point to be able to get the trailer in the parking spot desired. You see the strong hand position of our backer telling the driver to turn right. And now we're telling that driver to straighten out the vehicle and back into the parking space. And now we are bringing them to a complete stop. Finally, if at any time you feel that you are not on the same page as your backer, bring the vehicle to a stop, bring your backer up to the driver's side window, and communicate with the backer your intentions for backing this vehicle.